Welcome, welcome. It is Saturday the 15th of May. Welcome to Stitches and Jacks and episode 12 already. You are welcome, so welcome. I'd like to say a big hello to all my new subscribers. I'd like to say a big hello to all my consistent subscribers, if that's the right way to describe you. Yes, welcome to all. Excuse me, I'll just brush my hair. I just feel it in my mouth. So sorry. Right, let's get started. You can find me on Instagram as Stitches and Jacks. You can find me on YouTube as Stitches and Jacks, and my email address is stitchesandjacks@gmail.com. But everything will be listed in my show notes. I have quite comprehensive show notes, so all the information will be there, plus anything we discuss today. And I will have some of the information on the front screens of my video. Maybe I should put them on the end screen as well, just so that's easier for you to navigate if you need to find a bit more information about me or anything we've discussed. Right, I have some notes, so I'm going to try and keep this, try under an hour. If you knew me in real life, I'm quite shy. So I just get carried away because I'm at home. Right, so we have a couple of finished objects. I have a shawl. I have my dishcloth from last month, April's dishcloth. I don't think I'd finished it. So I have some sock talk. I have a couple of test knits to share with you. So I'm going to have, I think I might have a new little section just to talk about my test knitting. That seems to be a new avenue that I'm exploring. Whips. I've got a couple of whips in progress. What else? An update on my crochet. And I have some incoming goodies, of course, that's a must. Sharing the love. We need to discuss the mail. We really need to discuss the mail. And I think that might be it. Let's see how I get on. Let's just do the dishcloth from last month, and then I've sorted that. For those of you that have been around since the beginning of the year will know that I'm taking part in the dishcloth, making a dishcloth every month for the course of the year. So I'll have a pile of 12 dishcloths to gift or to use. I think it's really good little exercise. It doesn't take you long. You've got a finished product at the end that you can either gift or you have it to be able to use in your home. Plus it's a good exercise in trying out different stitches without the pressure of making a garment. So this was April's dishcloth, the Twist and Shout. And I must admit, looking at the pattern, it's a bit too crazy for me. I'm not a freeform girl. I like things sort of straight with some kind of purpose. But finished it. Hopefully I've got it the right way up. Got it the right way up? Yes. So that's what I've made. Haven't blocked it yet, but I'm happy with that. So I've got this Oxford cotton. So I'm a lot more comfortable working with cotton now after doing that. So that has been a really good exercise for me. So that's going to go with, I think I've got it in yellow. And I think I'm going to make the next one maize in green. So I will cast that on soon. So my second whip. I'm so excited about this to share it with you. Da, 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 it's finished. Look at this beauty. Can you see it in all its glory? Just look at that. Just look. I don't think I've been so sad for a project to finish. I really don't. It is just lovely, just lovely. So you start off, well, I can't give too much away because it's a pay for pattern, but I think there's nothing that he hasn't told you on the on his videos. So you start off with an eye called bind off, and then you do the raise. So he shows you how to do those. They're all slip stitches. Then he shows you how to do the bubbles, which that was a new technique to me, and it includes dropping stitches as well, which, well, now I'm going to show my age. I was about to say that I've never dropped stitches before. I have dropped stitches before, but not necessarily in the right order. So that's like a Eric Morecambe reference, I think, when he was playing the piano with a famous French pianist on one of their shows. So these are the bubbles. Oh my word, these are beautiful. These are beautiful. They are so easy to do. Look at those colours. Oh my word, I'm trying to see this. I'm showing you all of it in its glory. Oh my word. And then you just finish off with sort of garter and like a lace and fan. Just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, look at that. I'm so happy, I'm so proud of myself, When I first started watching podcasts about 3 years ago, I think I watched Katie from Inside Number 23, and I think it was the big thing to knit the exploration station, and I think that shawl has different techniques in it. Like, I think there's a bit of lace, there's brioche. It's just something out of this world, something I hadn't seen, and so it's always been on my I'm just going to sit here and snuggle in it. Been on my radar to try to attempt a Stephen West shawl. And you know, when you're on YouTube, it just came up. I think it was for the bubbles, and I watched it and I thought, I think I can have a go at that. So yeah, I thought, well, yeah, you need a bit of belief in yourself, girl. So yeah, so that's what I did. I believed in myself. What could be the worst thing? The worst thing is you just got to undo it. But there's plenty of resources out there that you can have a look at, and it was just so easy. And you have a eye cord bind off as well. So I'm just, yeah, you see that? What's that one? That way. Show you the right way. Oh, so this is all Mr.B's yarn. My husband treated me to a few skeins at Christmas, and they were just lying under the tree, and this shawl came up on YouTube. I just thought, my word, I've got colours that are really similar to that. I just fell in love with it. So yes, and this is what I have left. I must admit, I was panicking a bit when I was doing. I finished the raise, and I was onto the bubbles, and I think it was this colour. I was running out. Let me just see it on my notes because I've written it down. So that's what I got. Well, that's what I've knitted. And as you see, the colours are very similar. So my first colour choice. Oh, I thought I'd got it written down. I'll put it on the screen. So which was that one? That's all I've got left out of 100 skein. And I was messaged them saying, "Oh, please, I hope you've got some more of this." Which I had. Look, that's my second colour. That's my second colour. And that's my third colour. And this is deep. I know that one is definitely deep. The reason being that I haven't got my labels is because I bought myself a new book. I got it off of Amazon, and I was thinking that it was going to be slightly bigger, sort of A4 size, but I've just put all my project notes in there. So you open it up, you've got a page there where you can either design something. I've just stuck my notes in here. It's not posh or anything. And then I have just put a piece of the yarn there, sort of date, the date I started, date I finished, sort of bits like that. So for me it just works because I've got a good record then of what I've made. There's the mittens that I've made before, so I've just got a picture. So I don't know, I've got an app on my phone that I just highlight on my pictures, send them off, and they come through once a month, and I think you get 30 or 40 pictures for about £4, £5. And I chose that quite a retro photograph, not photograph, frame, and I really like that. So I think once I've stuck that in, I think that will look really good. There's all the information there that I would have. So I think this was only a few pounds. I think it was even under a fiver. So that was on Amazon. So yes, I am very, very proud of this. Oops. So I think this is on my Make 9 list. So I think I've already knocked 2 of my goals off my Make 9 list. I'll need to get that out and have a look at that. So yes, if you're thinking of doing this, well worth doing this. And I think you could probably, I don't know, get some kind of hat out of sort of the leftovers, or a pair of socks. So yes, thoroughly enjoyed that, and it's definitely not going to be my last. I'm contemplating doing the bubbles but in a blanket with all my Stylecraft leftovers, but I'm not sure. I've already cast a couple of blankets on, so I need to get on with those ready before I start going ahead with those. Whips. I don't know what you class as whips. I tend to class it as projects that I have on the go. But if I've got a blanket on the go, I don't really class that as a whip because I think that's a long-term project. So I've got 2 whips. So one of them, just making a cardigan for little Benjamin. Look how beautiful she is. So this is a Bambino, and that's a little cardigan. I think I'd bought it originally because I'd seen the jumper in Black Sheep Walls, and I really like the style and the colour. So this is the Bambino. So I think Stylecraft released Bambino and Bellissima. Bambino's for the babies and Bellissima is supposed to be for the adults. That's how it's marketed, but it's the same yarn, just marketed differently. So that's yarn that I've got. I think this colourway is called Sage. But yeah, it's really nice. Just get it out. So I keep a little book for him. All his details are in there of all the projects I've made. So I hadn't read the pattern. When I get a pattern, I just tend to read the abbreviations, and as long as I know what the abbreviations are, then I'll just start it. So I thought, right, I'll cast this on. This has been in its little basket, this wall, for ages, and I'll see. So is it that way? Yeah. So it's an 18-row pattern repeat. It's not complicated. It isn't complicated, believe you me. That's it. So I've just done the first 18 rows. I've probably not touched it in a week. So, you can see. So it's supposed to go up in zigzags. So yes. So I'm just doing, I think, 2 to 3. So that's a little project that I've got on the go for the young man. I think I've got a little bit of, I know I have. I've got a bit of shoulder ache And I think that is due to the fact that I have knitted quite a few large projects. I was just thinking about it. I knitted my Whitmore for just after Christmas, January till March, and then I knitted those 2 shawls, those 2 test knit shawls, and then I've knitted the Stephen West shawl. So that's a lot of knitting. So I thought perhaps I should just have, perhaps I should just have some smaller projects. So cast that on, which you'll always want something, and then I've cast something on for myself. And I'm trying to, yeah, I was about to say I'm trying to buy stuff that I really need, but that's not the case. I'd like to make myself some more garments, and I have to account now for, last year it was my commercial yarn. I couldn't buy any commercial yarn unless it was for a project, which I managed to achieve. And I did buy some commercial yarn, but it was only because I hadn't got the colour that my daughter wanted. She wanted like bottle green. So I bought it, knitted it, and gifted it. I went to Black Sheep Wools 2-3 weeks ago with my friends, Jeanette from Crafty Clegg and Lyndsey from Stitch Create Love. We were really excited, so I did buy something. So I have bought, let me just get the yarn out. I didn't need to buy any, if I'm completely honest, because I could have found some, but I didn't have the colour that I wanted. One of my favourite colours is red, but I don't tend to wear it. I tend to wear like blues, but I went in and I had this, and it's the Sublime. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. And the red is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So this is, let me put my glasses on. Oh, crumbs, my glasses are filthy. So this is 75% extra fine merino, 20% silk and 5% cashmere. And they had this in the reduced section, so it would have been rude to have said no. So I've gone the complete opposite. I've got a pattern. I bought this for the Whitmore. I think Black Sheep Wools are very good at having a couple of days throughout the year where they will have like a special event, and this was a Stylecraft event. And I'm pretty sure I must have, I think if you spent a certain amount of money, you got like a goodie bag, and this was in the goodie bag, I think. Or I could be completely making this up. And it might have been in a magazine. It's 2019. So that's what I fell in love with. That I just thought it was nice, simple, comfy cardigan, a little bit of detail. I love the detail down the sleeve. That's what I really liked. And then there's this bit here. So that's what I bought the Bellissima for, to make my Whitmore in, because I had made a swatch and I think I'd gone wrong. I might have gone wrong, I don't know. So it was sort of put in the corner, unwound and put in the corner. I'd only started on the sleeve. So I've been doing quite a bit of work on swatches and trying to understand them, because I just want to pick up my needles and knit. But I understand you've got to kind of put a bit of work in to have a better fitting garment. So this is my swatch. It is bunched up because I blocked it. And the swatches that they tell you in the patterns are not enough. You need to do a larger swatch. So this is what I've done. So I've got stocking stitch and pattern. And when I'd finished it and measured it, I was out. I think the right amount of rows, but I got one more stitch. And I understand now, if you're going to measure yourself and say you're a 40 bust. Is it a 40 bust? Just one stitch per, but it's per inch. So that would mean, I think, would I be 40 stitches out? Oh, I don't know. But it would make quite a bit of difference. So I swatched, then I blocked it, and it's perfect. So that's that. And I have, oh no. Yeah. So I'm really happy with that. So I started this. I only started it last night. But it's simple enough that it can be knitted in front of the telly. So I've started with the front. I thought I'd just take a bit of weight off my shoulder. So I'm knitting it on straight needles. and this is the left front, so you've got a bit of pattern there. And I did a 1x1 twisted rib. I think the commercial patterns are just cast on, so that's why I always thought there was only one cast on method. I didn't realise there was all these different cast on methods and bind off methods. So yeah, so that's how much I've done, and I'm really pleased with that, so I'll be quite happy working on that. So that's been my little bit for myself. I think now once I've started off, I'll be away with that. So I've done that. Right. Oh, and then I picked up. I've had a bit of a sort out. I've had like a bowl with all my odds and ends of yarn in, and I started a Cozy Memories blanket, I think between Christmas and New Year. So I put a few squares on, but I haven't really touched it. So I've been working on this the last week, and this is what I've got so far. And I'm aiming, this is going to be let me just, right, so this is they are going to be my middle squares, I've decided. So I'm going to have them going out at all 4 angles. And this is how far I've got. So I need to put another row here just to even it up, on the eye. But I really like it. Really like it. I'm just, well, I say I really like it. I do really like it. But now I'm just wondering. My idea at first was to just add a square as I was finishing a project, rather than sort of do any colour placement. But my patchworking head is saying, and I know that it's going to change over time, but I'm just wondering now if I've gone wrong in, let's have a look, this one here and the 2 mustards and that one being too close together. What do you think? Because it will be a lot of undoing, but it's just where your eye is going to be drawn to. I'm very aware that this is very deep, this side. So I don't know. And my socks, I decided to do my socks, if I've had like stripy socks, I have one, or this is my Lola sock. We were doing Bill's bus, and that's a sock. That was the socks I did in January. And then I've got is it Duckpool Lane? No, that's Craft House Magic. That's Craft House Magic, a Christmas one. And this is Duckpool Lane. I bought some just to pull in. So I don't know. But I love the concept. I love the concept and the fact that you can just have a little bit of yarn, and then you gradually over time, you can have a blanket over a long period of time. Okay, sock talk. So these were, I can hide anything. So these were the socks that I chose out of my 52 Weeks of Socks book. And see, the photography in this book, is beautiful. And I don't know how to pronounce these socks. Craspedia, I don't, by Andrea. I'll put the details on the screen below. And these are my Rainbow Chronicles socks for April, and it was supposed to be, it was yellow, the colour was yellow, so I've got a pair, and I just love this yarn, love the pattern. I'm doing well today, aren't I? I've got a sock blocker. Let me just go get it. Right, sorry about that. So just organised today. So this is my little sock form. A bit closer. See the bubbles, as the camera picking those bubbles up. They are so pretty, so pretty. I think it's slightly smaller than what it should be, like the sock form. I couldn't get a size, But yes, they are beautiful. So it's full of like a mock cable stitch up the side, and then you've got the cables and the bubbles. So beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that's how much I've got of the yarn, and the yarn is Zakami. And I'll put the title down here so that you can know. Absolutely beautiful. Pattern was really good. I did a chart pattern, so I'm becoming more familiar with those, and they were toe up, which the toe up, it was a lot easier this time. I think this is my second or my third pair. I understood the cast on. Andrea Mowry has got one herself, like a toe up, like cast on tutorial. So I went on her site, which was really good. I just thought, as she has designed these, I will follow like her instructions. And from there, I actually found out that she's doing like a Q&A session on Friday. I think she's up to sort of week 10. People send in, like viewers send in their questions, and then she answers them. And it's been really, really interesting listening to the types of questions that have been asked and her responses. I don't think she always does things by the book, but I've got to understand a lot more. So that might be worth just having a visit there. So they are my April socks. So I have started, my May socks, and they are green, but I've used them as a test knit. So I will show you them as a test knit. Forgot what my next segment was called. Test knitting. I think I started test knitting last October, and by no means I haven't test knitted a lot of projects. You'll have seen through, if you've been watching me since then, the things that I've been asked to knit. I think I've test knitted two shawls, a cowl, two cows, two shawls, two cows, and then a few pairs of socks. So the lovely Lauren from Blue Fern Yarns was looking for some test knitters. She's a indie dyer. Beautiful yarn. I have used that before, and you'll have seen, and I'll have shown it off. I think I've given a skein away as a prize because I just think it's so lovely. So she was looking for test knitters, and I said, "Oh, I'd like to have a go." So she said, "Oh, thank you very much." So which I did. We had an interesting conversation with a friend about moustache. And I did a big stock take, I think January 2020, and then my friend Nikki, has made me. I don't mean physically, I mean like mentally. She made me sort of look at moustache again, and I just assumed when I first sort of started knitting this time round, that I'd go in and I'd buy, if it was on sale, I'd buy sort of anything and everything. And I've spent this last 18 months really sorting my stash out. I might have perhaps bought some stash, like acrylic, especially for to use for the boys. So a lot of it is sort of blues and greens and things, but maybe I'm looking at it in a different light now. I might be using it for different things. One of the things that I was buying, I think I learnt to knit socks at the end of 2018. So I bought some commercial yarn. West Yorkshire Spinners is the most. So I'm going to show you my sock yarn, my stash, my commercial stash. So this is what I have in this box. So the majority of it is all West Yorkshire Spinners. So this, I'm telling you, that's a DK. So now I think I bought it with a jumper in mind, and it is a little bit scratchy. But I think I need to think about it a bit more. It's not scratchy. It just means that because it's made of wool, it's going to have a different feel. I've got some Serdar, Heart and Soul, and I have a ball, I think, of Opal, and then I think the rest is just West Yorkshire Spinners. All these colourways. I've given some away as presents and like in I think a swap or make wishes true, I think. So I came across this yarn in my stash, and this is West Yorkshire Spinners, and it's apple. And I thought, well, that's handy. I can use that because I want to do the green for the Rainbow Sock Chronicles. So I've made these pairs. I'll put my teeth back in. This pair of socks, and these are the test knit that I have done. Aren't they lovely? Do you know what, they feel so different after you've blocked them. So they're beautiful. I'm really, really pleased with these. So these are a cuff down. I've knitted them on DPNs. There are 64 stitches with a twisted rib, twisted 1x1 rib, and a heel. Can't show you the heel, flap and gusset. So there it is on the sock blocker. It looks lovely. Really, really lovely pattern. This is something you can do in front of the telly, on Zoom. Really nice pattern, really well laid out, really easy to follow. And I think is it a 56? Let me just check my notes. It's extra small, small, medium and large. And I've done 64. No, I haven't. I've done 60. I've done a 60. So they are lovely. I really like those. Really like those. It's nice to do something that is plain. So I think I started those last week and I finished them. I think I finished them yesterday. So I've been working on those really, and I think the pattern is going to be released next week. So yes, that's well worth going for. That's paid for pattern. So they are my socks for May. So I've done really well to already finish them. Right, I'm back. My word. Right, I'm back. I'm sorry. So I've been working on another test knit for Lyndsey Tranter of Stitch Create Love, and these are the Carousel socks. So the pattern was released last week, and it's a really lovely pattern. Lyndsey asked me if I'd like to, if I would knit them for her. I said, oh, of course I would. Of course I will. I said, I have actually got a cake of yarn already caked up. When I had knitted my Kira Cove shawl, I wanted a pair of mittens to match or to coordinate with, and I had the Snow Angel mittens. I just caked it up. Oh, that would be perfect, absolutely perfect. And then when I read the pattern, I realised that I couldn't use 4-ply fingering. I needed DK or worsted. So it's been on my shelf, and I'm not sure. I'm aware that when you cake your yarn up, you're supposed to knit with it straight away, not cake it up and then just leave it in your stash. So I asked Lyndsey if I could use that, and she was absolutely fine. So you ready for this? This is really bright. So there they are. I'll show you this one. Yeah. So they are lovely. These were socks. My socks are match. Or they pick up some of the colours. But I've had a bit of a, how to describe it. I want to learn to use, I'm a DPN girl, and I I just find that I can hold them better, I can manipulate the needles, and I feel I can knit sock quicker. Not in the sense of it's a race, but more that the rhythmic, you know, the rhythm of the knitting and the yarn moving over your needles, I just find that a lot more comfortable and a lot more mindful. I do still find it more of a chore to, it's the act of pulling that needle round when you are working on magic loop. But I've got the correct needle now, the Addy, which I was recommended, so I think that cable might be better because it won't curl up. So one of the DPNs that I chose that I wanted to use were the Knit Pros, the wooden ones. You can see those. They're absolutely beautiful. But, oh, yeah, snapped. And I was talking to Lyndsey and I said, I finished your socks. I said, but I don't feel they're as finished as nicely as they were before, as I have previously. The sock pattern, it's a 1x1 twisted rib. So I've started from the top, worked my way down, and it's a German short rail heel. And you can see here, it's not that tidy. So I thought, right, don't worry about it, just knit it and then you can go back and you can sew it up. And that'll, yeah, it'll strengthen it obviously, but also hide that fact. But it's why I've undone it. I've undone it and I've stretched it, so I'm going to have to go back and finish that. And what had happened, I had a discussion with Liz, I didn't quite understand, because I've knitted this in one colour. If I had knitted the heel evidently in a coordinating colour, you know, a different colour, I would have had a bit more strength perhaps in the heel, that I could have tightened it a bit more, or perhaps I should have just tightened a bit more anyway. I found when I was using these, I was so worried that these were going to break, because I wouldn't say I've got the biggest hands in the world. Whether I'm a bit heavy-handed, I don't know, but can you see that there is a bit of bounce in them? So one of my heels, the tension in it is slightly different. Let me just see. I don't really see. Oh, I think it's that one. I think it's that one where the tension is a bit. So what I did is the second sock I switched needles. So I did that. So my heels I wouldn't say are as neat as they should be, but the pattern is beautiful. So it's not the pattern, it's me, and the fact that I couldn't get on with that. And sometimes I think you've just got to accept that you can try something and it doesn't work. Maybe you could go back and use it. I'll perhaps try it again. Perhaps try them again and try them with a different colour on the German short row heel. But yeah, it looks like a first pair of socks that I've knitted, but it isn't. But they're beautiful as my. I'm not going to move again. Let's put it on here and see if you can see. But the pattern is beautiful. The pattern is, it's obviously really well written. She writes the pattern so well, so easy. And it's, even though it's a mock cable repeat, it's easy enough to sit and watch in front of the telly. So for me, that is like a winner. That is a winner. Yeah, look at that. Look at those. Look at that colour. And this is it's by Birdstreet UK yarn, but it is on the old label. I bought it last year, so it's Mr.B yarn, but they still do it as Birdstreet, and it's a colourway of Canoodle. Is that focusing? Hopefully it is. It's just the fact that it looks blurred. I haven't got my glasses on, but yes. They are lovely, really, really lovely, so effective. And if you go on and have a look at the hashtag for the Carousel socks, you'll see all the different colourways. But yeah, beautiful. Put my hand there so you can't see. But yeah, they're lovely. So yeah, Lyndsey was really nice about it. I didn't get told off. So I am going to be, so that's my second test knit, and then I've got 2 test knits in on the needles. On the needles, that's a phrase I need. Let me just go get them. Right, so we're going to talk to you about test knits that I have on the needles at the moment, and surprisingly enough, I have one on the needles and one that I'm going to cake up and cast on probably tomorrow now. So I've got the Carousel hat. So this is by Lyndsey Tranter from Stitch Create Love, and she made the socks, and she still had some left over, some yarn left over. So she was able to create a hat from the leftovers and use like contrast for the rim. And then I think she's got a pattern that's coming out for wrist warmers. I don't think I will have enough. I don't think I will have enough because I knitted my socks in a solid colour. I won't have enough yarn. So I thought, right, okay, what else can I do? Wow, this arrived yesterday, and this is Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit's, and this is the Liberty Yarn Club. So this is for May, and it is the Emerald Georgia. Oh, it's just so beautiful, and it is lovely, really, really lovely. So I thought that would make a really nice hat, because I've also got Lyndsey's cowl, and I'm trying to coordinate. Like, I just don't want to make a shawl or make anything. I'd like to have some cohesiveness. So the sort of pale pink, sort of like a peach colour, I think that will go with the cowl that I made. And then as a test knit, I've got this. No, not as a test knit, as a contrast, I have this. But I'm not keeping it in my stash. I love it. Love Jamie. So this again is Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit, and I bought this last year, and it's a vase of my own from the Outlander series. So I thought that would be absolutely gorgeous. And we'll see what I can make out of that. It'd be nice if I could get the wrist warmers and the hat. That would be lovely, which I'm sure that I'm going to be able to. So so that's that. So that's going to be cast on tomorrow. And then lovely Amanda put a test call out for some test knitters, and for a sock pattern that she is releasing. So it's a Scoosh socks cuff down. So it's a paid for pattern. Amanda is in Scotland, and she is a crafter and a pattern designer. So she's on Ravelry, so go along and have a look. And it's Amanda Clark at Shutter Monkey Designs. So it's a vanilla sock. So her pattern that she has made, that's what she has sent us. So she sent us that, and it's always good to have a vanilla sock on the needles. So I asked her, because I went and had a look in my stash, so I had a ball of this, and it's to have a contrast. But I had some of this from another project, and I said, I know they're both the same band number. Can I use those? She was like, yes, of course. So that's my contrast. So these, I think, are 2018, 2019 stash. So I've got those out, which I'm really happy with. So I've got much to show you, because I cast these on this morning. I thought I was going to have a quiet time, and then Mr. Jacks got up early. What with the coffee machine going and the dogs barking, it was like, oh, just get up and move. So this is what they're going to look like. I'm just going into the green now. If you can just see those, so that turquoise is working really well. See if I can hold these needles a bit better. Yeah, can you see? They'll just be a pleasure to knit. Yeah, to knit up. So I'm really enjoying having a go at sort of new patterns and new techniques, etc. I'm going to do those. And those socks are supposed to be knitted on the DPN, so I was like, oh, that is my sock knitting. That's what I like to knit. But we'll try my next pair. Whoops. And see if I can do a toe up again, because it was easier this time, and it'd be interesting to use that new needle and see how I get on. So let me know, yeah, if you're a sock knitter, what you knit. Are you DPNs? Are you magic loop? And what you prefer to knit. I wanted to tell you, or share. Sorry, don't want to tell you anything. I want to share with you. West Yorkshire Spinners are hoping to have Yarndale on this year, and they've got some video tutorials, just a few minutes long, to show you the process of knitting a sock. So it's casting on the cuff, the leg, the heel, and then the toe, and then Kitchener stitch. Yeah, do you like Kitchener stitch? I'm absolutely fine with that. I had a little wooden shoe, but it seems to have disappeared. It's in a project bag somewhere. Yeah, so that's sort of, I can remember it that way, or just look it up. But I have actually been able to, I think because I've done so many now, I can just start off and get that done. I've got a couple of books I wanted to share. So I had got some books. I bought this one. This is Knitting Socks. Just got it off Amazon, and I think I'd seen that they had some good. I like books that have got pictures in. You know, if I'm trying to learn something, good diagrams. So they're showing you how to do the heel. So I have that. So that's good. I've also Winwick Mum. I really like her. That's her collection. I think she's got a few more added now. But that's a book that she has released, so that's worth looking at. So I'm thinking I might try one of these. So I've just got those in there. Just got those. There's about four patterns in there. This is the Super Sock book. These are all self-published by her, and these are really good with photographs. You know, if you want to start to learn to do your heel. It's a really comprehensive breakdown, and there's a couple of patterns in the back of the book as well. And then this is like your next one on to practice all those techniques, and she shows you how to do these. And there's some patterns there. So yes, I think I'm quite covered on my sock books. Crochet, yes, crochet. I give you an update. It's not finished, but he's nearly done. All his limbs are done. So come here. So there he is there. He's huge. He's absolutely huge. He's a lot bigger than what I expected to be. So all his limbs are complete. So I have 2 legs. Yeah, so two legs, 2 feet. So they're done. And 2 arms. 2 arms that are done as well. So I've made those. Plus I have claws, fingers. So I was working out how to make those. Finish those. I was sitting on the couch, was it last Saturday? It was pouring with rain. So I'm trying to, well, make no, I'm not. I think I would like to make this kind of head and maybe give him a tail. And then try and do his face. So it's coming along, and I'm pleased. Yeah, I'm pleased with how he is. I don't think I'll ever knit crochet anything chunky again. It has pulled on my wrist, but I think that's because the yarn is so it's just so thick, so thick. That's what I'm looking for. I'm a bit thick today. Yeah, so that's so thick. So I think I'll do that, and then that's out my stash. And then I have got some Aran. I just need to have a chat to Alfie. This is our future project, or my future project. He's going to wear it. So I've got some So Crafty Aran yarn, but I do want to use up because I bought it, and you know, it should wash well, and I really want to get cables. So this is what he's chosen. So he would like that one, lucky enough in that colour, but he wants that hat as well to go with it. It's got to be finished by November. So yes, we've got a couple of birthdays coming up, so I need to get that one. Oh, sorry. That's a motorbike outside. I need to get the monster finished because Fred's birthday is in July. So I would like to start Fred's monster. And hopefully that won't take me so long, because that's going to be an Aran as well, and that should be a bit easier for me. So that's where I am with my crochet. So it's coming on. It's coming on. Incoming goodies. I've just recorded. I thought I was recording, but it hadn't recorded it, so I've got to say it all again. Incoming goodies. I have started to feel a little bit self-conscious about saying, oh, I've got this and I've got that, and don't mean it in that way. But what I've got to show you now is just pure indulgence on my part. I saw something on Instagram and I just thought, oh, I really want it. I showed my husband, and he said, oh, if you want it, he said, just get it. So, which I have done. And it's just so beautiful. Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit's put a post up for a bag and some yarn, so I bought it. I was lucky enough to get one because they went like hotcakes. Look at this. Look at these. And how it came about, there's a lady in our Zoom group who lives in Boston. She'd seen this fabric, and I think she'd messaged Claire and said, oh, it's just so perfect. It would be perfect for project bags. So they did a collaboration. She's made some. Look at this. How cute are those bunnies? How cute. And look at this. Oh, my word. That is just so beautiful. So beautiful. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. And then Claire's made some yarn. She's dyed some yarn. Her colourways are just beautiful. And it's called the Boston Bunnies after this lady. Look at that. Oh, my word. So it's all about, yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit. Oh, my word. That is just so beautiful. So beautiful. You can see the label there. So, yeah. So it's gonna go in my stash, and I'll find the perfect product for that. And then I've been after Sarah Me. She does these seasonal boxes, and I've tried a couple of times, and they've just been sold out. And she was doing one. The last one that she did was plants, a plant update. And for any of you that have been following me, know how unsuccessful I have been in keeping plants. So that's one of my goals this year, was to be able to make some plants. And I'll put a photograph in because I'm very proud of myself that I bought string of pearls plant, and I hadn't had it a week, 10 days, and it just seemed to die. So I cut everything back, moved it. I got it up, and it was near a door, so I'm not sure whether it got cold or not. I know that I think I tended to overwater my plants. I'm now watering them once a week, and I'm watering them from the bottom up, and then once a month I'm giving them a feed, and everything seems to be growing. But I'm digressing. So the theme was plants, and look at this bag. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at all those houseplants. Said love one of these. Yeah, lovely. Absolutely lovely. And even the lining, look at the lining inside that. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Everything just coordinates so beautiful. And it all comes like in a presentation box. Can't hold things up. But, so there's a pin. So I need to make myself a pin pendant. But even down to like attention to detail, she's put some ribbon in. Like she tied something up. I've not untied it yet. But even down to like the ribbon that she's used. Look at that. That would look so lovely, you know, in a journal. That's my next thing that I really want to do, is I want to make a journal. And the yarn, you get 20 gram mini. Look at this. And this is by Giddy Yarns. Her yarn's lovely. Really lovely. Look at that. Yeah, my daughter's coveting this because she loves green. But I really like it. So there was that. So there was a tea. Sorry, there was a tea. I was just looking for the chocolate biscuit. I think I did. I've obviously forgotten about it, oh my word. There's some stickers. These are so pretty. I'll have to take some photographs so you can see. You know, to go in your journal. So there was those. What's in here? Oh, I had that out. That might have been the yarn or the ribbon in. Oh, that might have been the stickers actually. That was your yarn. And that was it. Yeah, that was everything. I don't think I've had anything else. But really, really lovely. Really, really lovely. Like the attention to detail on here, like even just down to like what's it called? It's not wasabi. Is it wasabi? Washi tape. And the printing. Yeah, lovely. Really, really lovely, thoughtful box she's put together. And in my humble opinion, I think she could probably charge a lot more for this. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Let me just put those in there because it'll take me too long to put everything back. But yeah, lovely. So I'm really chuffed. Yeah, really chuffed with that. So that's my incoming goodies. I have got something else, but when I talk about the mail, I'll talk to you about that. Sharing the love. Sharing the love. I'm just looking at my list. I've got four down on my list this podcast. A couple of them you might have already heard of, but I would just like to share the love. There's one lady, she's called the Faithful Sheep Crafts, and she is in our Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit's Zoom group. And she's lovely. She's lovely. Oh, I'm not going to tell you to go and watch anybody that I think is horrible. Not that I'm like that anyway. But she's a nurse and she has worked through the pandemic. She has been responsible for the vaccinations, and she's been injecting lots of people. She's down in Sussex in the south of England. So I think she said there was like 400 odd thousand, nearly 500,000. So that's nearly 500,000 people that they have vaccinated down there. So well done to them. It's got me thinking really. She said that she had worked for the NHS, then she'd gone private, then she'd gone back to the NHS, but she'd had not been working for a while because she had injured her back. And I think with that kind of work, it takes a lot of toll on your body as well as your mental health. But she's back. She likes to knit a variety of projects, socks, shawls, toys she's made. So she knits, she crochets. Her projects are lovely. A really, really lovely lady. And she started off by apologising that because of the pandemic and the way things have been, she's not been able to work as much as she has wanted because of this back injury that she's had. So she's on what's called bank, which I think you can just sort of, a bit like temping, you can choose to work. Her husband has been affected as well. So their budget is different to what it used to be. My nana told me a saying, you cut your cloth according to your means. And she is thankful that she has a stash and that she has some nice yarn in her stash, but she also got some commercial yarn. And to me, I'm like, use whatever you want. Use whatever you want. Don't take any notice of anybody else. We don't all have to use the same thing, and we don't have to knit or make the same thing either. You make what makes you happy. So she is well worth going and having a look. The other lady that I would like to mention is Amanda from Little Lilac Yarn, and I think she has three episodes up now. She's fab. Again, she variety. I think she crochets and knits. She was showing us these really beautiful dolls that she had made. I think she's got like 2 teenage daughters, but she'd made these dolls when they were younger, but they're beautiful. Blankets she's made, garments she's knitting a beautiful like royal, looks like royal blue on the camera, but might not quite be that colour, like cable jumper for one of her daughters. Really, really lovely. She keeps her yarn in the garage. I keep saying I'd like to go round. I can't remember where she lives, but she lives miles away, so I wouldn't be able to just go around. I'd like to go around and have a nose in her garage and see what she has out there. And then the other lady that I would like to mention is another Amanda, funny enough, and she is Shutter Monkey Designs. And again, she's sort of a master of all crafts, really. She knits, does lots of crafting, she crochets, just patchwork, just quilting. And she is designing her own patterns. Go and have a look at her Ravelry. She has got some really lovely designs. She's got shawls, socks, I think she mentioned cushions and bags. One of the cushions that's caught my eye is it's because of I like quilting, like patchwork, and it's log cabin. That's really, really nice. And I thought that would, I've seen something else. I don't think it's Amanda that's designed it, but there's this a log cabin craze is for, so you make a patch out of all your scraps, and then you can sew all these big squares together, and then you've got a blanket. She's also got some really lovely shawl designs. There's a beautiful one that looks like, I'm not sure if it's sunflowers that is on the flowers like raised out. It really is lovely. That is really tempting. I'm going to put that on my list. Then the other lady that I've met through Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit's Zoom group is Gemma Espray, and she has just launched her first podcast. She works full time. All these ladies work. Not that that's anything to do with it, but I think it's called Offcuts Designs. I'll put all the names underneath and in the show notes. And she was really funny. I thought, oh, you're just like me. No wonder, we'd get on. She's knitting, crocheting, cross stitch, sewing, and quilting, and all sorts. And you definitely have to go and have a look at these ladies, but especially Amanda from Shutter Monkey Designs and Gemma, because their craft rooms are amazing. You're just looking, or I'm just looking sort of to see what's behind. It's just, oh my word, yeah, lovely. So yeah, go and give those ladies some love and some attention. Right, time for some news on our Mal. I think it's a slow burn. I need to get my backside into gear, and I need to sort of promote it a bit more, learn how to do it. It's one of the reasons I'm a bit late in coming back, is because, well, you're not finished. I think I've got sidetracked with my crochet monster, so I gave myself a good talking to, and I said, right, this has come along, you've started it, Once it's not difficult, but it's hard on my hands. So get that finished. And when you've got that finished, then you can start him. He says, I've got to start him soon. Otherwise, he's going to move out. Are you? Yeah. So I will do that. Right. I hadn't got my notes. Or not notes of the winners for the MAL. Now the MAL is, if you don't know about it, it is for finishing any kits or whips. They have to be, the rules are very loose, they have to be 50% completed, 50% started. So we have, I think we've had 5 in. I said that I would draw it from March, June, September and December, but I was a little bit behind with trying to sort of promote it. So I said that I would draw the end of April. So I have two draws this time. The reason because I've got the projects that, or the gift that prize, the prize that I was going to give. And one of our lovely viewers has sent in a prize and it is beautiful. So thank you. And that's Anita from Gaga Knits. So she has her own podcast. So go over and give Anita some love. So thank you so much. I'm thrilled to bits with it. And I'm sure the person that is going to receive this is going to be equally thrilled. Now, it's for kits that you've perhaps started, so it could be anything. It could be a knitting kit, a crochet kit, it could be an embroidery kit. I think I've got mine. Yeah, mine's still sitting up there, but I think that is going to be something that I'm going to sit in the garden, I think, and start that maybe when it gets a little bit too hot, hopefully. And I can't perhaps knit or crochet anything that is heavy. So when I say a kit, you know, you have like these blanket kits, or you might buy a kit that's going to be for a shawl or a like a sweater. Now I know, like I've looked at some of the prices and they are just extortionate. They, in the sense, I understand the skill that goes into the hand dyeing, in the sense of that it is an art. That's the level of my understanding. But I also understand now that you can choose your own yarn and make your own kit up, and that's fine. So that is eligible for this. My daughter, she has put something in, and I think this just shows how much we perhaps can collect and stash, and maybe we don't give it the value that it deserves. You know, if you buy a knitting magazine, it has a little gift on the, or freebie on the front. She's crocheted a little raccoon. And the reason that she crocheted that was because she has a yarn room, craft room, beautiful. Her son was in there. He's only, 19 months? Bad grammar, I've not got that right. And he pulled all her magazines out, as they do. But he'd found this and he really liked it. So she thought, right, okay, I'll put that in. Yeah, I'll make that for him. Oh, and he's just been so funny about it. So she's got a lot of enjoyment out of it. And this is what our crafting is about, isn't it? It's an enjoyment for ourselves, and if we gift it for that. So, less waffling. So we've got the craft. So we've got the first prize. Yeah, the first prize. I didn't expect to have 2 prizes. So we've got the first prize. We have got, it's the, I think, I'm going to put it down here, and I hope that I've got it right. It's lace wing on heather. And this lady had bought a kit, and it was for the summer sorrel, but she'd modified it because it was inspired by the spring sorrel. So, which I think that's, maybe you need to think a bit further out of the box. So yes, so if your name is Heather, this is going to come off to you. So you have a project bag, you have a DPN cozy, and you have some really lovely yarn, which I thought was the sort of colours of honey. So if you let me have your address, and then I can get that sent off to you. There'll be a couple of extras maybe in there as well, so that will be a pleasure to send to you. And then therefore, out of the winner, which is so lovely to have 2 winners, we have got a really beautiful little project bucket, I think you would call them. Look at this, how lovely is this? And it's so well made. You see it's got little dogs inside, and I think that's is it some kind of cockapoo typey thing? Yeah. Look at these. These are just or it might be a Westie actually. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So you just have that by you, like on the couch or on the floor. You can turn it up inside out, well not inside out, but that, so that it gives it a bit more stability. So this one is for a lady and Hevertson, Hevertsen, Hevertson. So I will, please get in touch with me and I will send this off to you. How lovely is that for you to have? And you can put one of your many projects in there. So yes, that was lovely. So I do have acquisition. What is it, acquisition? An incoming goodie. So it's to go in the prize. So in June, at the moment, one of the prizes is going to be some yarn, and this has been dyed by my lovely friend Jeanette from Crafty Clegs. And this is what she's dyed. Look at this. Isn't that lovely? So this is sock yarn. The colourway is called Tutti Frutti, and it's 100 grams and it's 400 metres. And this is self-striping yarn. So I have bought that as a prize, to give away. So lovely. So that is going to go in our little prize pile. And the prizes will be drawn at the end of June. So we've got the hashtag. This is where I got a bit confused before. The hashtag, if you don't want to use Ravelry, or for whatever reason Instagram is just easier, it's the hashtag, it's S&J finishing kits and whips Mal. I'll put this on the screen as well. And what I want is a picture of the start of the project, like where you're up to, and then the project of it finished as well. And if you want to go on Ravelry and put your details there, that would be lovely. And I appreciate that that is really difficult to navigate. I find that really difficult. But maybe we just keep it all over on our Instagram. I don't know. Let me know. So yes. So those, and any details will be in the show notes. So I've done Share in the Love, done the mail. Right, I think I'm done. I'm worrying now that it's going to be too long. Hopefully it'll be under the hour. There's just a bird coming out. I'm not sure we've got a nest up there. So yeah, how have you been? How have you been? What have you been up to? Who have you seen? Where have you been? We are just, we've got restrictions being lifted again on Monday the 17th. So I get to cuddle my boys. On Monday. So what have I been up to? Been out for dinner. Oh my word, I've been out for dinner. I don't think I've been out since last August. We don't tend to go out on a regular basis. When we lived in town, we'd perhaps go out for lunch or brunch. Brunch was quite a favourite thing for us to do. But we went out, my daughter, she's found this place in the town where she lives, and everything, how can I describe it? It's got an American theme, and they have all these little huts, these open huts. You've got a heater inside if you want, and every heater, they're like sort of sheds without front. They're all themes after American states. So you've got inside, when you go inside, it's like American diner. So you go in, you sit, you have to book, you're escorted to your table, and that's where you stay, and they bring you everything. You're allowed to go inside if you need to go to the bathroom, and there is germ gel, hand wash, whatever, everywhere you go, and you are watched as you go in and come out. Not in the sense of, you know, what you do. Well, I suppose, yeah, you are what you do, because obviously you've got to, they just want you in and out as quick as possible. And it was just so lovely to share a meal with my daughter and the 2 grandsons. And I must admit, they're a bit wary of us. The little one especially. They moved in last year for about 10, 11 weeks. And when he left, he was 3 in the July. They left at the end of May, June. He was still in nappies. We potty trained him in 2-3 weeks. He was still sleeping in a cot, and he was just coming off his bottle. He had a bottle for comfort, you know, for going to sleep. And his granddad called him to come and sit next to him, and him and his granddad were like, oh, thick as thieves. And he was a bit wary, and that upset us. And I could see my husband was fine the first time, but the second time he asked us, I saw my husband's face drop, and he's not like me, he doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve, but I could tell. And 3/4 of the way through, he came and sat with us, and I thought, crumbs, don't get upset about it, just accept the reason why and move on, and just enjoy the fact that you are here, you've wanted this for so long. So that was a couple of weeks ago, and then last week we were able to take them out, and we took them to, the eldest one is joining a football club today, so I got all his stuff out, because I used to take him football, so I'd got all his kit and everything here, and he's grown out of it, which obviously kids do. So I washed everything, folded it up, put him in the bag, and we'll give it to his mum. And I said, hopefully, Fred can have some hand-me-downs. And we were talking about it. We thought, we can't take one without taking the other. So we took the little one, and we thought, well, we can't really buy Alf all this stuff for Fred to be standing there, even though Alfie's 8 and Fred's nearly 4. That's not fair. So we said we would buy him a top. So he was absolutely excited. They were lovely. He was still a bit wary of us, the little one. Not in the sense of, don't get me wrong, not like that he didn't know us, but just getting used to us again. So we took him in the shop, and we thought we'd sort Fred out first. Well, talk about rinse. We were well and truly rinsed. This little one who's not going to football, Liverpool kit, because that's what his granddad supports. He got a full Liverpool kit, football, what are they called, boots, trainers, because he needed them. And his mum asked if he could have a jacket, like Alfie could have a jacket, the big one, because it's going to be outside, and she just thought he might be cold. So I was like, that's fine, I'll go. His granddad was sorting him out with the boots and everything, so I took the little one to get a tracksuit. He was like, Grandma, I need a tracksuit. I'm like, oh, okay. So we went to the till and paid for it, and my husband turned around to me, he said to me, do you know how much this has cost? And I'm like, yeah, don't matter. We haven't seen him for, like, physically to take him out. It was before last March, so yeah. But they was just so, oh, that's it. And then we were just about to leave. My husband was just about to get to the till. The little one said, Granddad, can I have a football, please? So I said, you got to let him have one. He says, yeah, so please. So we took him home. My daughter was like mortified. She said, I told you not to ask for anything. I said, it's fine. They're as chuffed to bits. They really are. And so are we, And we'd said that we'd take him out for dinner. And obviously we'd been into town. And then we thought, well, what do we do now? Nowhere's open. So we had to take him to a Kentucky. Is it Kentucky? Yeah, KFC. Oh my word, you thought we'd bought my gourmet meal. So that was fun. So we've had that, and I'm still grinning. You can just see just a bit of normality. So yeah, that was really nice. And then this week I've got some things planned. I'm having lunch with my girls on Monday because the restaurants are open. So we're going to do that, and we haven't done that for a long time. And I picked Alfie up from school. Yeah, I picked Alfie up from school last week, and I was fine. My daughter said that only one adult was allowed in the playground. I went in, I was early, and then I looked around, and there was quite a lot of people. It really hit me how much we haven't mixed, because we have literally just stayed in the house. And I thought, don't panic. You need to get used to being out with people and doing these kind of things. And I was holding on to Fred's hand. But we did that, and Alfie was like beaming, because I used to pick him up once a week and stay over. Lunch with my girls on Monday, which is going to be lovely. Yeah, because we were supposed to be away next week, but we cancelled it. And then Tuesday, my older daughter is coming, and because she's in a bubble. Well, yeah, 'cause she's in a bubble, but I think we are officially allowed to be in each other's houses. So we're having a knitting day or crafty day. Could do whatever we want. So I think I'm going to go to Marks and Spencer's. That's like I tend to go there, to get like a few treats food wise. So we might get some of those. And yeah, I think we're just going to knit. That'll be nice. And then Friday, I'm out with the girls. Go to Black Sheep Walls. So I better get that jumper knitted, haven't I? Or that cardigan rather. Get that cardigan knitted. So yes. So I hope this podcast finds you all well. That you have managed to do some nice things, perhaps to see some family. That's all I'm bothered about, is just seeing my family. I'm not bothered about going on holiday, but that you have been able to have a little more lift in your life. So yeah, just be careful. Be careful. Don't hug too many people. Yeah, and just want you all to be well and be happy and be safe. And I'll see you soon. Bye.